Okay, this is gonna be a very special episode because I'm gonna play the rest of episode 2 until I'm done with it. So this is gonna be 1718 Tea Party question mark whatever the fuck. This one is gonna be part 2 to it. So let's just start because it's gonna take a while. Battler could be found in the dining hall. Unable to summon the will to return to the guest house in the middle of this rain, he had wandered half-heartedly around the mansion in search for a random place to sit, and had stationed himself in the dining hall. He hadn't bothered to lock it. He did think that maybe the shapeless murderer or the golden witch might come to kill him now that he was isolated. But he no longer thought about resisting that. On the contrary, he had no intention of blocking the culprit with a lock. He wanted that person to come out at him openly from the front. If it was a murderer, he thought he'd ask them to tell about some of those wonderful locked room tricks as a parting souvenir. And if it was a witch, he thought he'd ask her to at least take his life with some wonderful magic. However, ironically, neither of these two came to meet Battler. Battler opened the liquor cabinet on his own and enjoyed the liquor to his heart's content. Isn't he 17? Well, I mean, I started drinking at 14, so no longer was there anybody anywhere who would have a problem with him drinking alcohol. Right. He boldly set both of his legs on the extravagant tablecloth and savored the high-quality liquor, which probably had a mind-boggling price straight from the neck of the bottle. Yeah, that shit gets so fucking expensive. At the time, someone knocked. Battler realized that he was about to meet his maker.
Oh,
we gonna see a drunk battler? Oh, how did he... First of all, how did my boy get out of the room with Rosa there? Man, it is such bullshit what they did to my boy.
そして自己紹介を頼むぜ。人間なら名前を名乗ってくれ。ベアトリーチェだってんなら3サイズを教えてくれ。
Give me your 3 sizes. What is that supposed to be?
俺はこう見えてもちょいと知られたおっぱいソムリエなんだぜ。
Oh my god, again with that.
ございます。バトラさん。
源氏さんか。悪いが、あんたのバストのサイズに興味はねえな。
Oh, really?
入ってくれよ。空いてるぜ。
失礼いたします。
Genji-san opened the door and bowed. So Genji-san was the culprit after all. Or maybe an accomplice? That theory would probably explain most of the tricks.
あんたが俺に引導を渡しに来たのか。
I don't think it's him. Come on.
そのようなことはございません。お邪魔なようでしたら失礼いたします。
おいおい、要件も伝えず失礼しますじゃかえって気持ち悪いぜ。何の用だよ。最後くらい好きにさせてくれ。
バトラ様は死せる最後のわずかな時間をそのように大義に過ごされることをお望みです。
Those words stung. Of course it wasn't.
今さら何ができるってんだ。俺はいつだって死ぬ準備はできてるぜ。
親方様と同じです。本当にあなたは親方様の血を色濃く受け継がれている。
あの豪傑なじい様が実はいつ死んでもいいと思ってたってのか。それは初耳だぜ。
親方様の人生はいくつかの悲しい出来事の末、すべて贖罪のためのものとなり果てたのです。
あんたは何を知っているんだ。
He's gonna say a
ベア
bombshell.
トリーチェ様の儀式も 第8の番までを全て終えました。
Right.
もう全てをお話ししてもよいかと
Oh,
思います。
bitch. What the fuck? Hold on. It's cold as fuck. Let me put on a shirt. Dude. Is he gonna say shit that we already know, or is he gonna say something different? Hold on. What is he gonna say?
なんだって。
What did he know? My drunkenness. Oh, he was already... Well, my drunkenness was completely blown away. Maybe buzzed. I lowered my feet from the table and listened carefully to hear what kind of words Genji-san would say next.
バトラス様、親方様の書斎へご案内申し上げます。親方様たちに直接お話を聞かれるのがよろしいでしょう。
Them!
じい様。
Who is this them?
おい、それは一体どういう。
さあ、こちらへご案内申し上げます。バトラ様。
After Genji-san told me to follow him, he started to walk down the corridor. I sobered up completely and went after him. We climbed the big staircase towards the 3rd floor. Genji-san stopped walking halfway. He then turned back and spoke.
バトラ様、これよりバトラ様は理解できぬものを見るでしょう。
What the fuck are you talking about?
脅すなよ。理解できねえもんなら今日嫌になるほど見てるぜ。
見えるものを見えるがままに、聞こえるものを聞こえるがままに受け入れてください。なぜ何も必要はありません。バトラ様はただ真実を知ることになるでしょう。それをお認めになるかお信じになるか、あるいは否定されるかも、すべてバトラ様にお任せいたします。
Genji, oh my fucking god, oh shit, that was probably loud as fuck. Genji-san checked one last time to see whether I was prepared to learn the truth. The 8th twilight had already ended, and on the 9th twilight, the witch revives, and none shall be left alive. It meant that Beatrice had already revived, and probably none of us would be allowed to return alive. If I was going to lose my life anyway, I wanted to know the truth in the end. It didn't matter how hard it might be to accept.
ああ、鬼が出ようと魔女が出ようと覚悟はできてるぜ。
It's very different from
本
episode
当
1.
にあなたは親方様の若き頃にそっくりだ。バトラ様、どうかご勉学にお励みを。あなたは将来必ずや大きな志を持たれるでしょう。そしてその時、足りぬ学力に一生後悔されることがありませんよ。
Okay.
勉学に勤しめる機会がもらえるならぜひな。
Genji's silence forced me to consider that resignation of mine more deeply. And we could see the door of grandfather's study impregnated with a sweet smell. From his pocket, Genji-san withdrew a gold key with an elegant design. The master keys had been confiscated by Auntie Rosa, but the key to this study alone he had kept with him. He put it in the keyhole, and it made a heavy clunking sound.
親方様、源氏です。バトラ様をお連れいたしました。
There was no reply, but it seemed that permission to go in had been given.
さあ、バトラ様、どうぞ。
ああ、入るぜ。
I readied myself and threw the door open. Are we gonna see Beatrice and Kinzo? together? What if we see all of the demons like those girl bitches? At that moment, I got slightly disoriented by the dazzling golden glow. It was, somehow, a swarm of butterflies shining gold. The golden butterflies that were completely filling the inside of the study poured out all at once. Hey, didn't he tell you not to say that? It was almost like golden leaf confetti. The interior of Grandfather's study was filled with a golden glow. And there were reception sofas and a table for guests placed in front of the study desk. And I could see Grandfather's back. There was someone on the side opposite from Grandfather. It was in shadow, so I couldn't see it well.
親方様、バトラ様をお連れしました。
バトラか。今思考が忙しい。しばし沈黙せよ。
Kinzo declared that in displeasure, his back still turned. It seemed that he was enjoying playing chess with a visitor. Apparently, the opponent had counterattacked with a superb move. Kinzo seemed to be enjoying himself as he thought deeply, while occasionally laughing and groaning.
30年考えた。この一手をどう切り返すか。30年考えたぞ。
So there she
楽
is.
しめ。30年を寝かせた我が一手を楽しめ。
まことにこの一手は味わい深き熟成された一手よ。楽しい楽しい。かなわぬかなわぬ。
これは何だってんだ。
来たかバトラ。しばらく待て。金蔵のために沈黙。まだリザインは早いぞ金蔵。わらわならもう数手は切り返せる。
It should have been my first meeting with that witch. However, I knew this witch. Even though it was our first meeting, I knew her. From that portrait.
源氏、バトラのために飲み物を振る舞え。この男によりふさわしきやつは何か。
若き日より親方様が愛されている。いつものあれ。
それがよいぞ。振る舞ってやれ。よくぞ来たな。後ろ宮バトラ。まずは座れ。そなたはわらわの名を何度も呼んだな。それに免じ、わらわとの面会を許した。そしてお前は、わらわに何を聞く？何を尋ねるのか。黄金鏡の扉はもうじき開かれる。魔女たちを迎え入れてのわらわの復活を祝う宴はもうじきだぞ。それまでの間、お前の問いにいくらでも答えてやる。
聞きてえことは山ほどある。この島で何が起こった？そしてどうしてこんな事件が起こった？密室についても聞きたい。礼拝堂は、ジェシカの部屋は、シオニッサ、夏代おばさんの部屋は、そして客場は。聞きたいことはまだまだある。
Oh my
魔
god,
女
I
の
want to know
正体は
everything.
本当にベアトリーチは魔女なのか？何が目的だ？俺たちに何をさせたい？俺をなぜここへ呼んだんだ？答えろ全てだ。
Holy shit.
やかましい。問えば答えは変えるのか？
Well,
そう
maybe.
いうな金蔵。もろく儚い雲の巣もヘロデの王から守ってくれることもある。この世に無駄なものなどないように無駄な質問もまたない。よいよい、すべての質問に答えようぞ。ただし 条件が一つだけある。
なんだ。
全てを聞き、わらわの存在に納得できたならひざまずき、わらわの靴にキスをせよ。
What?
お
She's
前
so
を屈
obsessed
服
with
さ
that.
せたくてわらわはここへ呼びつけたのだから。わらわと金蔵は賭けをした。金蔵が次の手をひらめくのと、わらわがそなたを屈服させるのと、どちらが早いかだ。負ける気はせぬぞ。
でけえ口を叩きやがって。ああ、いいぜ。俺を納得させてみろよ。お前が間違いなく魔女様で、不思議で素敵な大魔法を使えるってことを納得させてみろよ。屈服したならキスでも何でもくれてやる。
The witch cackled gloatingly. Then she glared at him unpleasantly with eyes that said a man can't go back on his word.
よくぞ言った。さて、どの問いから答えようか。すべて答えるぞ。さあ、まずは何からだ。
Man, what? He's gonna ask her about every last detail. Wait, what? This again? And the witch began to tell of everything. Dude, this again! She started providing answers to all of Battler's questions. Everyone made logical sense and everyone satisfied him. And Battler was forced to admit witches truly did exist. Dude, I hate this shit because I have to read so fast. Can I pause this? The rest is a story that need not be told. After toppling the king and resigning, all that remains is to reflect upon one's moves and set the pieces up once more. Dude, I want to be able to read this shit good, but I can't read this. Look at the art though. An X. Second game, Turn of the Golden Witch. Result. Wait, how's there another episode then? I mean, Kraus died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to the Golden Land and sacrificed. I don't have to read those. But how did... Isn't there supposed to be another... Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this is the last chapter before question mark and tea party. Died on the first, chosen by the key. Jessica died on the second, back pierced by the stake of Asmodeus. Stake of Satan. Again, canon. Always the stake of Satan. So far. Shannon, gouged by the stake of Mammon, Beelzebub, Lucifer, Blefgorn, Leviathan. Kumasawa, leg gouged. Oh, poor girl. The witch, Beatrice, revived on the 9th twilight. She will finally open the door to the Golden Land. Ushinomiya Kinzo, missing on the 10th twilight, accepted the witch, prostrated himself, and was invited. Ushinomiya Rosa, missing, she denied the existence, was not invited. Maria accepted the witch, was invited. Genji accepted the witch, was invited. Battler, missing. Will he accept the witch and be invited to the Golden Land? The witch shall praise the wise and grant 4 treasures into the Golden Land. There they are chosen to revive the souls of the dead and the love they possessed, because that they desired could not be gained from a mountain of gold no matter how high. For Kinzo, his lost loved ones. For Maria, the lost love of her mother. For Genji, a peaceful sleep. Rest in peace, Beatrice. May your slumber never be disturbed again. I feel like I read this better than episode. The winner is the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Since of the 18, none solved the riddle of the golds in time. All 18 died. When the seagulls cried, none were left alive. What? Again, Battler denied her? Or no, it said, will he accept her? Will he accept her? Yo. Wow. Okay, we are so fucking zoomed in on that clock. I can't even tell what.
どこなの？ベアトリーチェ！姿を見せなさい！ベアトリーチェ！
Rosa finally arrived at the chapel. She pointed her gun around her, screaming the witch's name, but there was no way there would be an answer. After grimacing slightly, she noisily approached the table where her siblings' corpses were still exposed and stretched out her arm towards the gold ingots. They were very heavy, but Rosa paid that no regard. She wrapped one of them up in a blanket and slung it over her shoulder.
せめてこの一つだけでも、これだけでも1000万以上の価値があるはず。
Rosa did not part with her gun either, carrying the gold in addition to it. Her shoulders were screaming, but Rosa didn't care.
もうすぐだね。もうすぐ黄金鏡の扉が開く。
その気持ち悪い声で笑うのをやめなさい。ベアトリチはどこにいるの？分かってるわ。どこかにいるんでしょ？あなたは知ってるんでしょ？どこ？
知らない。探さなくても黄金鏡で会えるよ。
Yep, I totally expected her to hit her.
その笑いをやめなさい。私が笑いたいくらいよ。そうね。あれは間違いなく魔女だったわ。私は分かってなかった。魔女を名乗る人間だと信じてた。違う。あれは本当に魔女だった。私はあんなのにごまかされないわよ。いるんでしょ？出てきなさい。姿を現しなさい。ベアトリーチェ！
だからもうすぐ現れるよ。黄金鏡の扉が開かれるよ。
Oh man. I wonder what happened in that room.
そうだ。それでよかったのだ。構わぬ。ルークを捨てるぞ。持てるものすべてを失う覚悟がなければ至ることもできぬキングがお前という女なのだ。追い詰めるぞ、ベアトリーチェ。
He's talking with so much joy. He's giggling like a little kid too.
せめてクイーンと言え。ほう、なかなかに妙手。諦めの悪さがそなたの。いや、後ろ宮の力。
心地よし。実に優雅な夜だ。うわー
親方様、ベアトリーチェ様、そろそろ宴の時間でございます。
もうか。早い。お前と過ごす夜はいつも早く、月がリンゴのように落ち、川面より跳ねる小魚のように日が昇るのだ。
行こうではないか。時間だ。立て、バトル。わらわの復活を祝う宴の始まりだ。わらわの新しい家具。いや、玩具として紹介しようぞ。俺キレキの魔女たち。
The witch was relaxing elegantly, her feet thrown out from the sofa and sitting on top of a footrest. However, the footrest wasn't part of the sofa. It was a human, which was down on all fours. I swear, Fitz Battler, I am not gonna be
ベア
happy.
トリーチェ様、お召し替えのドレスでございます。
主賓はお前だが、ホストは私だ。私は先に出ていよう。着付けの手伝いにシャノンでもおればよかったが、あいにく残れなかったようだな。使いたい時にいつもおらぬ。つくづく使えんやつに。しかしお前はよく残ってくれた。嬉しいぞ、我が友よ。
ありがたいお方です。
よい。二人とも先に下で待て。源氏、ご苦労。そのドレスはそこへ置いていけ。
かしこまりました。それでは親方様。
我らは先に行こう。ベアトリーチェ、後ほどの。
Kinzo and Genji left the study. After that, only the witch and the dress and the furniture remained.
なぜわらわがそなたに肌を見せることを恥じぬかわかるか？
Oh?
そなたは家具だからだ。家具。わかるか？家具だよ、家具。家具に体をさらして恥じる者がどこにいよう。だからお前にわらわは恥じる必要がない。
Is she being completely serious about that? Does she actually see him as not even alive? The witch stood up and removed her jacket just at the shoulders. The jacket slumped down at the back. When the furniture respectfully approached to pick up her clothing, the witch gave it a small kick and it fell over. The furniture was afraid of what misconduct it had shown.
そなたは家具の分際でわらわに自らボタンを外させるつもりなのか。立て、そしてこのボタンを外せ。
Wait a minute, this is getting a little...
一つずつ
One by
丁
one?
寧に
Wait a minute.
美しく粗相なく。客人たちを待たせてしまうぞ。早くわらわを着替えさせろ。
I hate, you know what, I really do hate to see this. I legit hate to see this. I don't want to see my boy humiliated in any fucking way.
丁寧に外すのだぞ。そなたの目玉一つよりも高価なボタンであるぞ。間違ってちぎるようなことがあったなら、代わりにそなたの目玉を縫い付けてやる。
Ow. Man, what the hell is going on right here, dude? My boy Battler really gave up? Wasn't the point of all of this him not giving up? The entrance hall was bustling with a large number of figures, and it was sparkling gold with the gold butterflies flying around. The gentlemen in suits and tuxedos, and the ladies in dresses looked like they were having a great number of friendly chats. At a glance, it might have looked like a fabulous medieval ball. Who the fuck? But they all had one thing in common, that they were exceedingly bizarre. And that thing was exceedingly bizarre. Because all of them had goat heads. It was impossible to tell whether it was a goat masquerade, or whether they really had goat heads. The latter was a ridiculous notion, but in this bizarre world, there was serious doubt about which was true. Kinzo was amongst the goat nobles, greeting them. Every one of them seemed to be an honored guest, and Kinzo greeted them more respectfully than could ever have been imagined from his normal demeanor. At that time, Genji's voice rang out through the hall. It was a voice calling for silence. That voice stopped the voices of idle chatter, and everyone turned to face Genji. What? This is a complete... Okay, you're not supposed... He told me not to question anything, so okay.
今宵復活を遂げましたる我らが黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ卿のご入場でございます。皆様拍手をもってどうかお迎えください。
Dude. When Genji began to applaud, it quickly spread through the guests, and became thunderous applause. And the Golden Witch appeared at the top of the large staircase. She gracefully waved her hand, and she slowly descended down the staircase, with her preferred furniture in tow. What is her obsession with Battler? She is so obsessed with him, making him submit. She's like... I don't know if there's like some domination. Obviously there's some domination going on here. But why? The goat nobles offered unanimous words of celebration in some long-forgotten language, and those with whom she was closely acquainted embraced her, filled with joy at the reunion. As the witch offered greetings of reunion, the witch's furniture followed behind her the whole time. I fucking hate them referring to my boy Battler as that. There was a chain around its neck. My boy? This was gripped in the witch's hand like it was a trained dog. The chain wasn't there to restrain it. The only purpose of the restraining device was to injure the furniture's dignity. I mean, obviously. It wasn't permitted to wear anything else on. Wait a minute. What? One of the young woman goats mixed in with the goat nobles softly removed her goat mask as the furniture passed in front of her and spoke with eyes that had no light in them. Listen, I would be jumping for, I would literally be screaming with joy at seeing Bern because I know she has something to do with Rika. I don't know if she is Rika, I don't know what the I would be jumping for joy, but my boy Battler is being humiliated to a degree that, I mean, he's being pulled around with a fucking chain around his neck like he's completely naked, just walking around out in the open. That fucking humiliation. That face looked like it belonged to a long-haired young girl. Oh my fucking god. Wow. They really aren't pulling any fucking punches. This shit. My fucking boy Battler. No, dude. No. I don't want to. They gotta get this bitch back.
Oh, ベルンカステル卿。これはようこそおいでよ。ファラワの家具を気に入られたか？
Don't fuck. No. Oh my fucking god. Why? Battler, why?
いい趣味ね。
After saying only that, the witch called Bern Castell once again put on her goat mask and was swallowed up in the shadows of the other tall goats.
負け惜しみを悔しがってるのよ。
違いないな。
Wait. The young woman goat giggled, and the witch once again let out a high-pitched laugh.
今宵はわらわのためによく集まってくれた。久々に古今東西の旧友たちが集う魔女の宴を存分に楽しもうではないか。さあ、今宵を食い明かし、飲み明かし、すすり明かし、食いちぎり明かして、とことん楽しもうではないか。時計を見よ。終わりの時間と始まりの時間が溶け合う時を指すぞ。さあ、魔女の宴を始めよう。
What the hell, dude? I did not expect this shit to turn out like this. And I'm thinking a little bit. Okay, let me not say anything, actually. When the witch proclaimed the beginning of the banquet, the large clock pointed to 24, whatever the fuck, and the sound of the bell began to ring out loud.
さあ、今こそ黄金の扉を。
What the fuck is gonna happen now? Also, Bern Castell, she betted that Battler would not succumb to her, submit, I guess? Because she said, like, they said something about her being a sore loser. All at once, the butterflies leafed in gold flew all around the inside of the room. Amidst the golden storm and the brilliant gold-colored light, the cross-section joining this world and a different world was cut open. Amidst the goats' delighted voices, the mansion of the human world and the mansion of those not human overlapped. And, in the form of gold butterflies, All those folks who praised the resurrection of the Golden Witch poured out of the depths of hell. It was a golden tornado, a rondo of golden demons. Come, tonight we will put aside rank, throw open the wine cellar, drop the snake's head into the liquor pot, throw cows and chickens into the furnace alive, drink and eat and sing and dance, sneer and kill and desecrate and degrade. What this fucker Kinzo is a freak. I don't know, what the hell? Is he finding sexual, what pleasure is he finding out of this? This is, oh my, this is, the goat nobles were suddenly crushing in around Kinzo, almost like they were kids demanding the autograph of some famous movie star. There were two differences. First, they were witches, not kids. And second, what the witches demanded were not autographs. Kinzo began to drown in the sea of goat nobles. Are they gonna like eat him or something? Only Kinzo's laughing voice echoed throughout the area. I had a thought. I had a fucking thought. That looks like a fucking weird ass mouth. It was a grand mixture of laughter and death throes. And Kinzo became wine and meat and bread. An aroma if slurped, a rich taste if not, and pleasant to tear to bits. The voice of his death throes lingered on sweetly, and adorned with melted chocolate and silver degrees, whatever that says. It would make a wonderful dessert. If you took the bones home, you could also use them for a soup. And the remains could even become toys for the children to play with. And they could also become good tools for fortune telling that always gave misfortune. What in the fuck is... that entire scene was watched by the piece of furniture. It was all fantastical. It was all demonic. It was the quaking of his heart, which should have been paralyzed, proof that it could still feel fear. Just then, its knees buckled, and the furniture's body tumbled onto the center of the carpet, because the witch had kicked those knees from behind. Listen, I think this is enough for me to permanently hate her. I'm not even fucking joking. No, I don't even want to hear you speak. The piece of furniture let out a painful voice. Fear is the most primal emotion humans have. Was that emotion reviving his sense of self, which should have already been killed? Wait a minute. Holy fuck, I got so much to say. The goat nobles were surrounding the cowering furniture. It seemed that their blazing, blood-red eyes couldn't hide their ecstasy at this new young food they had been given. No, they're gonna kill my boy? And from their mouths, from which protruded countless ugly teeth, saliva, or maybe the traces of meat and wine that they had just eaten, dribbled down. As the piece of furniture let out a wild scream, it retreated, still sitting on its backside. But the circle of goat nobles was closing in. And the piece of furniture looked at the witch's face. It stared at her face one final time, believing that because it had submitted to the witch, she would show it some mercy. But there was nothing but scorn on the witch's face, and she wasn't even facing it anymore. The witch went off to greet an honored guest with whom she had crossed gazes. What guest? The goat nobles looked down upon the furniture. They were, in fact, waiting. Just like how one must remove the cork in order to drink champagne before bringing the offering served at the banquet to their mouths. They were waiting for just one of those. Of course, the furniture didn't know what that was, but it wouldn't come out of his mouth all by itself. In the same way that there is always a pop when the cork is removed, it too would certainly leave his mouth. Scream. It was a sign that the modest banquet at which he was to be served had begun. Oh, they're gonna fucking kill my boy now. So they're eating my boy alive right now? These fucking goat demon Satan bitches are eating my boy alive. Gapu pokyoku giku giki boryu. Oh, fuck, I completely... Okay, so... Is this what happened the first time as well? By now, the rose garden was a garden of roses and gold. A gold-colored garden where gold butterflies, gold fairies, gold lizards rampaged and flew about wildly. Why is everything gold?
Maria, hayaku! Hashite! Hayaku, hayaku! Hayaku, hayaku!
Holding onto the gun and the blanket wrapping the ingot, Rosa ran at speed Maria couldn't catch up with, sometimes pausing to call out at Maria to run faster. I completely forgot about Rosa, I'm not fucking lying. Therefore, she saw it every time. She saw the golden pursuers chasing them from the mansion. The mass of gold butterflies was chasing after them like a mass of crawling hands. And horrifyingly strange-looking shadowy figures with goat heads were chasing after them. What? There was no need for her to strain her eyes, because those blazing pupils told her what would happen if she was captured. Oh no. Maria tripped over. Rosa, ashamed that for just an instant she had entertained the thought of abandoning her daughter and running away, kicked back against the ground and instantly reversed direction. That fucker. As Rosa's own child tried to stand, the goat head that had sprinted over to get the first bite grabbed a fistful of her hair and pulled her up from the back. Rosa rammed into the goat head with her shoulder, spun, bashed the back of her elbow into the goat's jaw, and buried her knee into its protruding chest. And she thrust the barrel of the gun inside the goat's head's mouth as it doubled over from the pain in its gut. That's a fucking lie. The blast from the 45 caliber long Colt bullet exploded inside the goat head's throat, and its medulla oblongata was instantly pulverized. Damn it, the goat head couldn't understand. It had thought that women were like already open. It had thought that women were like already open wine bottles. It had thought that they were wine bottles, and that turning them upside down would immediately cause their deep red contents to come out. Well, they better think again. Released, Maria flung her arms around Rosa. Then, the pursuers were still coming. They could see the giant goat heads, who had given up even pretending to be human, running towards them from across the rose bushes. Rosa spilled several extra bullets, which had been in the pocket of her coat, all over the place, and told Maria to pick them up. Come on, Maria!
マリオ、ママがもし倒れたら、あなたは走りなさい。海岸へ行くの。そして、泳ぎなさい。この島のどこにも生き延びることのできる場所はない。
That's the fucking truth, bitch.
ママと一緒。
Let that shit eat! Let that bitch eat! Rosa's gun roared 4 times, but even though she really did land 4 shots in the chest of the massive approaching goat, it didn't even flinch. Shoot him in the legs! He can't run with it if his femur's fucked! The goat ran with a violent vigor, as though it planned to crush Rosa and Maria with its massive body. Rosa grasped the blanket with the ingot in both hands, and then she herself sprinted at the goat, dragging the ingot along behind her. Without even an ounce of fear of that strange-looking giant, she's a fucking bad bitch! If it's to protect my daughter, I'll overcome even hell. Look at her. That's brave, that's courage! What? Rosa's roar. The goat head's roar. The terribly heavy ingot, after picking up a terribly centrifugal force and speed, slammed into the goat head's cranium. Fucking knocked his shit open! Rosa pulled a fountain pen from her pocket, but she held it crooked. She placed it in her palm, and the gap between her middle finger and her ring finger, so that it stuck out when she made a fist, almost like it was a stinger growing out. She jabbed that stinger into the left eye of the goat head as its head toppled forward. Was the goat head's roar a scream? But Rosa's roar was different. She pulled back her fist and slammed it into the fountain pen that was still sticking into the goat's eyes. The pointed tip was gouged destructively into the depths of its head. Dude, she is fucking these things. Who knew she had these fucking balls? As I grabbed the gun Maria had thrown, I finally heard the thunderous crash of the giant tumbling to earth. Dude, she is so fucking quick. Nobody else has shown this level of bravery, courage, and actually fought back against them? However, at the same time, I saw that, Cannon, but he used like some magical, she's just a human. However, at the same time, I saw the goat head pursuers on the other side of the rose bushes increase in number. I've gained some distance, more than enough now. Holding onto the gun and the blanket wrapped around the ingot, I once again ran with Maria. Why am I running with the gun in my right hand and the gold in my left? Why don't I free one hand and grasp Maria's hand? I can't let go of the gun that protects my body. I can't let go of the gold that protects my future. And yet I would let go of the hand of my daughter, who is my very future. Run. 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 She got out of the rose garden and began to run down the staircase through the grove of trees. But Rosa knew this path through the grove was only turning and twisting many times to make it seem long. She tore straight through it, yes! She had always played here since she was a kid. So she knew to the beach, to the beach, to the sea, to the sea, to the sea! And after reaching the sea, nothing to do but swim, swim, swim. If Maria can't swim, I'll carry her as I swim. There's nothing but death on this island. As she raced down the stairs, she took a bad step. A violent pain ran up her left ankle, and her mind went completely blank. Rosa fell down several stairs, and stared in shock at her ankle, which was bent at an odd angle. And the blanket with the ingot wasn't there. She had let go of it. The instant she fell, and it had disappeared somewhere into the darkness. Only the gun was left. The tremors in the earth were getting closer. It was only a matter of time before the goat heads flooded in. She didn't want to imagine how many there would be, or how strange they would look. The lightly dancing gold pursuers arrived. The gold butterflies surrounded Rosa and Maria, sparkling and clamoring as though saying, "The prize is here! The prize is here!" Rosa couldn't even try to get up. The violent pain from her broken ankle was so great that she couldn't ignore it, even in her last moments. What am I doing? I had the gold. It would have been worth several million yen. I might have been able to start over with that. And yet I fell, lost it, and that's not all. My own life is in danger. Even Maria's life is in danger. What has my life been? I was born in an incomprehensible house with an irritating older brother and sister since the day I was born. What did I do? No matter what I did or didn't do, I was always in trouble and bullied and made fun of. What had my life been? The roar inside Rosa's heart shriveled away and disappeared. It disappeared when she listened to Maria's crying voice as her daughter sobbed and clung onto her. Newfound courage! Relit that fire in her heart. I know she did! Well, that's terrible.
こんなママとでもあなたは一緒にいたいというの。こんな悪いママなのに。ねえママ、知ってる？世界にママは一人しかいないんだよ。いいママも悪いママもいない。
Oh my god.
ただママが一人いるだけなの。
That's true. No kid can pick their parents.
だからマリアは世界でたった一人ママがいてくれればいい。
Poor
そして
Maria.
ママにとってたった一人のマリアになりたいの。機嫌が良くて甘やかしたいマリアと邪魔だからいてほしくないマリアは別人じゃないの。マリアもたった一人のマリアなの。だから怖いママも優しいママも一緒。
What a sad thing to say.
マリアにはたった一人のママなの。
If that won't make you cry.
黄金なんかいらなかった。ただあなただけの手を引いていればよかった。
If that won't make anyone cry.
私はなんてバカなママだったの。
The shadows of the goats covered the sky even more than the trees in the forest. Their roars blotted out the world with fear. Rosa, still hugging Maria, readied her gun with one hand.
マリア、一緒に行こう。ずっと一緒よ。ママが迷わないようにずっと一緒に。すぐに会えるよ。ずっと一緒だよ。黄金鏡で会えるよ。そしたら一緒に遊ぶの。狼と羊のパズルで遊ぶの。ママはまだ1問しか解いてないけどマリアは全部解いちゃったんだよ。だからマリアが出題してあげる。
She had bought that as a birthday present, and then hadn't played with it. And then hadn't played it with Maria after that night.
遊ぼうね。 一緒に約束する。
Those eyes, sparkling like red-hot lava, looked just like a group of fireflies. They danced, closed in, and attacked.
マリアが込めてくれた銃弾を食らいたいやつから前へ出ろよ。
Straight fucking chills. You know what? I think that right there is gonna be the fucking thumbnail. Oh my god. The Golden Witch has prepared a gift in commemoration of your recent sojourn. The new elements may be accessed from the title screen. Wow, what a fucking episode. Holy shit. Okay, obviously we're gonna see Tea Party. But before I start it, what do I want to say? Holy fuck. Battler, my boy Battler, I hate that. I hate what they did to him. They humiliated him in such a fucking way. Having him crawl around on his fucking hands and knees, naked with a chain around his neck. And this like weird, everyone like goat head, that's, you know what, no, fuck, let's just go, let's just go. Are we in purgatory again? Rosa? Rosa? Rosa woke up from her doze. It must have been a very deep sleep. Her mind was fuzzy, and she wasn't thinking clearly. Where was she? It felt like some mansion, but at least it didn't seem to be the Ushiromiya family mansion. She was in a room that looked like a parlor, and there was some tea that had been prepared. It had almost certainly been prepared for her. Rosa! Does she still... Sparkles like gold leaf were dancing around the room, and it looked very dreamlike. She eventually realized that they were gold butterflies, which made that stand out even more. There was someone across from her, female, a lady, the witch of the portrait. She looked like she was having a one-sided conversation. She was probably talking to Rosa. But Rosa's mind was clouded up by a deep fog, and she didn't have a clue what was being said.
何でもよい。そなたが望むものがあるならば、そのすべてを与えよう。
She was the last one to live?
その強運への褒美と思うもよかろうし、わらわの求めに対する正当な対価と考えてもよい。
Wait. You may think of it as a reward for your good luck, her living, or as a proper trade for my demands. Is she talking about Rosa in taking the gold? But did she find the... Wait, I don't know.
そなたにとっては全く大したことではないかもしれない。しかしわらわにとってはそれだけ意味がある取引だということだ。
What is she talking about? I don't know. I don't know.
ただせっかくわらわは魔女なのだから、魔女にしか叶えられない願いを求めるのが利口ではないかと思うぞ。せっかくの機会ではないか。この黄金のベアトリーチェから恩恵を得られるなど。
Finally, Rosa started to feel the blood flowing throughout her body. Her movements were still sluggish, and she couldn't even voice the words she was thinking.
わらわの通り名は黄金の魔女。金蔵に与えたように山なす黄金を与えることは造作もない。何しろ人の世の快楽はすべて金で換算できる。すなわち黄金こそが人の世の快楽そのものなのだ。そなたは想像ができるか？生涯をかけても使い切れぬ黄金の山が。
The witch blew on her pipe, and 7 colors of smoke covered the area. Wow. When she did, the inside of the parlor had suddenly become filled with stacks of gold ingots. It looked like a shining gold-colored wall. If each ingot was worth tens of millions of yen, how much would all of this be worth? It seemed sinful to even think of that number. More money than the world has, maybe.
人の世は難しい。どれほど空高く積み上げた黄金であろうとも、満たされぬものがあることを知っている。埋められぬ隙間があることを知っている。わらわはそれをないがしろにしないし、それこそが魔女であるわらわにしか与えられぬ褒美であると考えている。そなたのそれを。なるほど、これはいい。わらわにしか与えられぬものだ。そなたもさぞや喜ぼう。口にせずともよい。そなたの心の隙間など顔に書いてあるからすぐにわかるぞ。
Rosa felt a touch of discomfort at this witch, who kept on talking even though she herself hadn't uttered a single word. But since she still couldn't speak well, and found it difficult even to move a finger, she could do nothing about it, and was unable to do anything but listen.
そなたの深き心の傷はどこまで遡れば癒せるのか。
Are we gonna learn about her husband?
これは深い深い。時に破片を飲み込んだまま傷口が閉じてしまうこともある。そういう傷は見た目には癒えていても永遠にうずきを感じ続けるものだ。
Yeah?
完全に治すために今一度傷口を開くこともあろう。
As the witch spoke, she was staring deep into Rosa's eyes. What in the world was she peering at? Rosa felt uncomfortable, but she couldn't look away.
そなたの痛みはすでに生まれながらにして運命づけられたものか。これはなんともつらいものよ。言わずともよい。わかるわかる。
Gradually, Rosa, in turn, was drawn into the witch's eyes. Gradually, the world grew dark, spinning round and round as she was sucked in.
Rosa, Rosa, どうしてお前はそんなにバカなのか。
Oh, that's Kraus Nissan's voice. Kraus Nissan is very grown up, so he's very smart. So he hated the stupid kid Rosa. And he was a very scary person, and I was often hit, and my toys were taken from me and broken. He would say it was a punishment because I did something bad, but I didn't really understand what that was, or why I was being punished. I was always punished suddenly, and then after the fact, I was told in a contrived manner that it was a punishment for something or other. But it was always something I didn't remember doing, so I really hated Kraus Nissan.
ローザ、ローザ、どうしてお前はそんなにバカなのか。
Oh, That's Eva-ne-san's voice. Eva-ne-san is again I fucked up. Eva-ne-san is very grown up, so she's very smart. So she hated the stupid kid Rosa. And she was a very sly person, and I was often lied to, tricked, and bullied a lot. She would say it was because I was stupid, and that it was only natural for stupid people to be swindled by those smarter than them. So I wanted to become a wise person like Eva-ne-san, and listen to what she said, but when I obeyed her, for some reason, someone always got really mad at me. So I really hated Eva-ne-san.
Rosa, Rosa, どうしてお前はそんなにバカなのか?
Even Rudolph? Oh, that's Rudolph Nissan's voice. Rudolph Nissan is very shrewd, so he hated the stupid kid Rosa. When Kraus Nissan was around, he was friendly with Kraus. When Eva Nissan was around, he was friendly with Eva. And when Kraus Nissan wasn't around, he was violent, like Kraus Nissan. And when Eva Nissan wasn't around, he played dirty. And even though he too was bullied most of the time. When Kraus, Nissan, and Eva-ne-san weren't around, he gave me 2 people's worth of bullying. So I really hated Rudolph. Oh, but these are my memories from when I was a kid. Quite a lot of unfair things happen when you're a kid, and you can't drag them out forever. In time, you bury them away in the far reaches of memory and forget them bit by bit. That is supposed to be what it means to grow up and become an adult. So becoming an adult is the same thing as separating yourself from all of those memories. And so, no matter how much time has passed, Rosa couldn't become an adult. Even though she had been blessed with a daughter called Maria and was called a mother, she didn't at all feel like she had become an adult. The witch pitied that, and she smiled, saying that she could heal the pain herself.
どうやって癒すのか。可能ではあるが簡単ではない。時間を巻き戻し、そなたに兄と姉がいなかった世界を与えることもできよう。しかしそれでは、そなたは兄と姉に苦しめられた記憶が残らず、故にそれをもって褒美であると言われても納得はできない。飢えは癒してこそ満たされる。飢えそのものをなかったことにしても誰も感謝しない。日々の飽食に感謝する若者がいないようにな。わかるか？
I think she just told me something really difficult. In short, even if she makes it so that I never had elder siblings, the pain wouldn't be removed. Maybe that's what she was saying. Strictly speaking, it's different. Healing isn't the same thing as removing pain. It's the pleasure earned for withstanding pain. Therefore, there can be no healing without pain. To know the joy of healing, you have to know the pain.
となれば、そなたの痛みに報いる喜びがいる。そなたは苦難の過去を誇っている。苦難を知らぬ者には味わえぬ快楽を知る資格があるからだ。この快楽を知る者、同じ喜びを他者にも与えずにはいられなくなる。
The witch snapped her fingers, and even though the room was still filled with a mountain of gold, and was already like something from another world, a fabulous tablecloth appeared on top of the table, and wonderful cooking was laid out, almost as though it was the opening of a banquet in a castle from some fairy tale. For an instant, Rosa felt a pleasurable surprise at how fabulous it was, but at the same time, she felt a bit of anticlimax, because she found herself thinking that being bullied by her siblings couldn't be wiped away by just one meal, no matter how delicious.
食は人の快楽の多くを占める。生涯生き続ける限り、豚のように食い続けなくてはならない。一食で足りなければいくらでも。その心の痛みが癒えるまで美食の宴を続けようではないか。始めろ、家具ども。
As the witch clapped twice, there was suddenly goat-headed servants there, and they began to prepare the meal. From the beautiful food dishes adorning the table, they efficiently took some food and began to pile it up on Rosa's plate. It really did look delicious, but Rosa's body still felt as heavy as lead, and there was no way she could eat. Maybe they also understood that. The goat-headed servants tied a napkin around Rosa's collar and gallantly brought a glass of before-dinner alcohol to her mouth, and even tilted it for her. She remembered an old servant who had once carried rice porridge to her mouth when she was laid up with high fever. She couldn't drink it well, and it dripped down from her mouth, but she felt the fragrant sweetness spreading throughout her mouth.
ドイツ産の貴腐ワインにあやかった甘きアペリティフよ。白ワインを赤きゴールデンドロップで染めたワインカクテルだ。名付けるならばブラッディ・クラウスか。
Bloody Kraus.
そなたの兄を圧搾機にかけて絞り出した血のゴールデンドロップだけで染めてある。
Rosa coughed violently, and the bright red that stained her face made it look as though she had coughed up blood.
そなたは紅茶に詳しかろうから意味がわかろう。ゴールデンドロップとは最後の一滴のことだ。紅茶で最も貴重な一滴と言われている。そして血のゴールデンドロップも同じ。人間から絞り出せる血液の貴重なる最後の一滴。あれにて絞る。
As the witch snapped her fingers, a bright red veil was pulled off something large which had not been there moments ago. The solemn and massive machine there was just like a coffin for a large-sized person, with many large bulb-like things stuck to it, and it looked like a sinister torture device. By its unnerving shape, you could tell that it used manpower to tighten and compress something, and it seemed that there was still some squeezed dregs remaining inside, because of the bright red remains that stained it.
しかしゴールデンドロップは一度に一滴しか取れぬ。どんな人間からも一滴以上は取れぬというわけだ。しかしわらわは魔女。人を蘇らせることもまたたやすい。
When the witch snapped her fingers, suddenly the human compressor began to shake. Oh. You could hear a groan. It looked almost as though someone had been sleeping in that man-sized coffin, had woken up and was now struggling to get out. But that was wrong. No one's inside had definitely been squeezed dregs. Using her magic, the witch had once again revived the squeezed dregs to how they had been before they were squeezed. 3 goat-headed servants with muscular physiques approached the compressor and forcefully started tightening the large bulbs. As they did, an unearthly moan came from the inside of the coffin. Rosa thought she knew the owner of that voice.
場でがふさわしい。もう十分だ。下がれ。ゴールデンドロップがどれほど貴重なものかお分かりいただけたかな。それを集めそれほどに赤く染めるには何十人分も絞らなければならない。
The witch had definitely said that only one golden drop could be taken from a single human. And yet, she had dozens of people's worth of golden drops from a single human. Only a witch could do this. The golden witch Beatrice could kill a single human endlessly. In other words, before Beatrice, even death did not mean release.
一口目はいらぬか。この男に殴られ口中に滲んだ血を飲み込んだ日を忘れたか。そうそう、あの味を思い出せ。こぼし尽くして枯れ果てた涙の味を思い出せ。その悔しき思い出を癒して足りるアペリティブであると信じている。
Once again, the gold-headed servant tilted the deep red glass against her mouth. Rosa attempted to close her lips in resistance, but the deep red liquid was relentlessly poured into her mouth, which was hanging open with shock, and the inside of her mouth was filled with a ghastly sweetness. It was definitely a fragrant sweetness. Her brother, who she had thought of so hatefully, and who had made her soak her pillow so many times, had died dozens of times over to tinge this wine crimson, so it must have tasted sweet. But Rosa tried to spit it out. Because of that, the deep red wine that spilled out of Rosa's mouth made her look as if she was covered in blood. If this ghastly substance was only the aperitif, Rosa couldn't help but feel uncomfortable about what would happen if this banquet continued.
それは旬の野菜による二枚舌のサラダ風だ。お前がいつか食いちぎってやりたいと9歳の誕生日の日に願ったエヴァの舌で作った念願のサラダよ。
Oh God. When Rosa heard the true nature of the pink-colored meat piled up in the salad, she had a sudden impulse of to vomit her guts out. Furthermore, the ghost servant stuck a fork in it and carried it to Rosa's mouth.
姉の二枚舌のお味はどうか。さぞや柔らかくとろけるであろう。
How sweet, soft, and enchanting it must have tasted in her mouth. After all, Ava's lies were always sweet, and young Rosa had always listened to them. So you could say that the taste of this stimulating pepper seasoning that had been added expressed the details of those lies well. Rosa spat out the tongue salad that kept being pushed into her mouth, covering it with saliva. But the goat-head servant carefully returned it to the plate and carried it to Rosa's mouth over and over again.
言うに及ばず、そのサラダにはエヴァの舌を5枚も惜しげなく使っている。舌は1人から1枚しか奪えない。しかしわらわなら何度でも奪える。
As Rosa's tears dripped down, she resisted, half crazed. However, the only way she could resist was by refusing to swallow. Even if she didn't swallow it, the taste of the French dressing increasingly violated Rosa's mouth.
お気に召さぬか？まだまだ料理は続くぞ。ルドルフの顔の皮で包んだスキのパイ。脳みそを茹でたスープに肝臓のフォアグラ。デザートにも期待せよ。兄弟だけではないぞ。お前が信頼しにもかかわらず裏切った人間たちをふんだんに調理したこの宴をそなたの心が満足するまで永遠に続けようではないか。永遠。嬉しいだろう、後ろ宮ローザ。嫌がるふりなんかするなよ。 本当は嬉しいってのは分かってるんだぜ。笑いたくば笑えばいい。ムカつく兄貴や姉貴の悲鳴の生演奏がないとご機嫌になれないってんならいくらでも聞かせてやる。いいんだよ、いやいやで。それがお前の勝負なんだろ。本当は全身が泡立つほどに嬉しいんだよ。なのに表向きは苦しんでるふりをしてるだけなんだよな。いいんだぜ。ここにはお前が気にする世間体も対面も何にもない。存分の大笑いして食い散らかせよ。最高の宴だろ。後ろ見やろうぜ。やめて。すまぬ。デザートを驚かそうと思って内緒にしていたが、やはり明かしておこう。明かせばフルコースを食べ遂げようという励みにもなるだろう。デザートは愛しているふりをし続けなければならないマナ娘、
Maria?
マリアとリンゴのオーブン焼きだよ。
No wonder she wasn't
う
here.
まそうだろ。こいつを食べればお前は全てから解放される。自由だよ、自由。やっとローザという一人の人間として自由を得るんだよ。嬉しいだろ。嬉しいはずさ。よだれが垂れてるぜ。鏡を見てみろよ。
Suddenly, a muscular goat-head cook was holding Maria under his arm, and Maria gazed at Rosa with a face that was just slightly sad.
ママ、マリアのこと邪魔だった？邪魔じゃない。
The background is moving a little bit, as Rosa spat out the food that was continually being carried to her mouth, as she was covered with mess and saliva, and blood, and resisted filthy and screamed. Filthily.
ママがマリアのこと邪魔なら、マリア食べられても平気。だってマリアはいつもママにひどいことばかり。ママが男の人を連れてくる時も静かにできなかった。ママが男の人とお泊まりしてくる時、寂しくて暴れてお部屋を台無しにした。勝手に探しに行って迷子になって警察のお世話になってママに恥をかかせた。何日も帰ってこなくて泣いちゃって、近所の人に慰めてもらってママに恥をかかせた。
Oh my god, Rosa, what are you doing?
生まれてきてごめんなさい。だからマリアはママのために美味しいリンゴのオーブン焼きになるの。そしたらママに初めてマリアがいてよかったって思ってもらえるかな。マリアを食べて美味しかったって思ってもらえるかな。
美味しいよね。感類にむせべよ。娘がここまで行ってるぜ。マナ娘とリンゴのオーブン焼きなんて最高のデザート。これだけ美味しい食材に育てられるなんて、あんた最高の母親だぜ。後ろ見やろうぜ。
Oh my god, Rosa, what? I did not know that.
ママ、
And I was just feeling bad. They make me fucking ping pong with Mom.
バイバイ。
待ってマリア、違うの。もうやめて、もうやめて。こんなの嫌。 私はこんなこと望んでない。もうやめて。もう許して。いややめて。口に入れないで。我がもてなしに満足してもらえたか。ならばそなたには認めてもらおう。わらわが魔女であることを宣言する。後宮ローザはベアトリーチェを魔女と認めると宣言せよ。認めます。後宮ローザベアトリーチェを魔女だと認めます。だからワリを返して。私を解放して。ついに認めさせたぞ。小賢しきバトラはすでに屈服し、黄金鏡に招かれながらわらわを否定する愚か者ローザにも認めさせた。完璧だ。パーフェクト。成し遂げたぞ、完璧な勝利を。さあマリアを連れて行け。ローザに美味なオーブン焼きを振る舞ってやれ。
うまそうだな。
What
それにはてめえの牛乳をスライスしてサンドイッチを作ってくれ。
What?
の声は。
An arm grabbed the back of the witch's head and smashed her face into the table. As it did, the witch broke to pieces, turned into a group of gold butterflies, and reformed into her body. A short distance away, my boy slammed her fucking. That's right, my boy.
トラ、貴様、家具となって魂まで屈服していたはず。
そのつもりだったんだがな。てめえの趣味の悪いレシピに耳を貸してるうちに腹が減ってきちまってな。魔女の丸焼きが食いたくなってきちまったのさ。
Oh, roasted witch.
それからマリア、自分を食べてなんてセリフは10年早いぜ。ただし10年経ったら必ず俺に言えよ。約束だぞ。
約束する。
Wait a minute. What did he just say?
待たせたな、ローザおばさん。俺は忘れてたぜ。こいつは俺とこの女の一騎打ちだったんだ。俺が屈するわけには断じていかなかったんだ。
Right.
ローザおばさんが粘ってくれたおかげで再び戦う気力を取り戻せたぜ。
This man, he was broken to the depths of his soul and capitulated to me. I see, he doesn't know when to give up. Just what I'd expect from Ushinomiya Kinzo's grandson. That's my fucking boy! It's in his fucking name! Battler! So the chick of a phoenix is a phoenix after all. That's fucking right, bitch! That's my motherfucking boy, Battler!
気に入った。そうでなくてはな。わらわの期待する後宮バトラとはそうでなくてはならん。わらわを否定してみろ。そしてそれをわらわは完膚なきまでに叩き潰す。何度でも屈服させてやろうぜ。一度靴を舐めたそなたに何度でも敗北の味を教え込んでやる。
上等だぜ、この後宮バトラ。泥を吸ってでも立ち上がる男だってことを教えてやる。
My boy never gives up!
俺は喧嘩で無敵だった。
He will never give up!
何度か負けてる。だがな、必ず泥を吸って立ち上がる。
You only lose when you give up.
必ず蹴りをつける。男の喧嘩はな、負けを認めない限り。
That's right. That's what I just said, dude. That's what I just said.
一本取られただけで俺が参ると思うなよ。楽しませてやるぜ。ベアトリーチェ。
That's my mother. Dude, oh my god, I love battle. I don't like that.
受けて立とうぞ後ろ宮バトラー。カグド、次なるゲームの準備を始めよ。その間に貴様にはたっぷりと聞かせてもらおうではないか。こたびのゲームでは密室も多いぞ。そなたの家工場のほとんどをわらわが赤で叩き潰した。その上でさらにどのようなへりくつで言い逃れてみせるのか。礼拝堂の鍵、ジェシカの部屋の鍵、使用人室の鍵、夏日の部屋の鍵、客間の鍵。お前らのお得意な奇想天外、妄想暴言空想はったり、とんでも超展開斜め上でわらわをとことん否定してみせろよ。
ああ、ダメだぜ。
Oh, there it is. There it is, bitch. Look at him, bitch. He pointing at her. Oh my god, Battler, dude. I'm so fucking happy he did. I'm so happy he grabbed the bitch by the back of the head, slammed her against the table, because wow, man, they fucking really humiliated my boy. Wait, supervision? Thought he made them. Ryushiki 07. 7th expansion. Dude. My boy Battler. Oh man, we really finished this episode? I don't know if I can play this. I might have to cut this out. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'll see. Sounds beautiful. Studio Homare? Studio Tsukiyo. Damn, bitch, they had a lot of studios working on this. Development. Programming. Okay. Nakamoto Shinichi. My boy Shinichi from Parasite? Ushiro Battler Ono Daisuke. Dude, that fucking guy, whoever that is, he's doing a great fucking job. Mugihito. Kosugi Jurota Shinohara Emi Hino Marina Dude. Okay, so my boy Battler. Fuck. Bern Castle, they made a bet. Yes, I do remember, because in the first one they did make a bet. Shannon Kugi Mia, right? Dude, oh fuck, what do I gotta say? I gotta come up with something to say, man. I can't just leave it at that. Man, I don't know what to say, I'm gonna be honest. Wait a minute, these... Beatrice? Lucifer, Leviathan, Satan, Blefgor, Mammon, Beelzebub. They all have names. Bern Kesto, Tamura, Yukari, Lambda Delta. Who is that? Have we seen that person yet? Lambda Delta. Ora Fuyuka. So Rosa reached the Golden Land. She was the only. That's funny. I didn't expect this to happen at all. Not at all. Then my boy Battler came out and smacked that bitch. Declared that he's not out yet. Even though he got done in, he is not out yet. Which, man, you gotta admire that of Battler. His tenacity. He stands up. Well, didn't I say that? No matter how many times you get knocked out, he stands up. I said that at the very fucking beginning without knowing any of this shit. But I got it right, didn't I? I got it right. My boy Battler. Then Rosa fucking running into Nightman. I think I don't know if they bought enough time. Oh, obviously, whatever. Then they ate my boy Battler alive. Then Bern Castell. What is up with Bern Castell? What's up with her? Do we get... Fuck. Man, there's so many good, like, thumbnail things. I don't even know which one to choose. I have so many. I think we have one more. Yep, there it is. We have one more left. Man, this is gonna be a long ass. I think I started recording at 7. Holy shit, okay. I think this one is gonna be short.
Saて、お楽しみいただけたか、こたびのゲーム。
There she
こ
is.
こ
I
まで一
fucking
方的
expected
なワ
her.
ンサイドゲームだと見応えを通り越して退屈よ。
これは相変わらずお点が辛い。退屈を愛さないベルンカステル教にふさわしい迫力ある展開だったと自負していただけに、これは手厳しい。
迫力についてはまあ認めるわ。ただフェアなゲームとしてはひどいものね。もう少し対等な条件でないと。
勝ち目がないと言われるか、ベルンカステル教に。
どういう意味かしら、ベアト。
ごまかさなくてもよい。すでに知っておるぞ。そなたが傍観者でないこと。
Uh-oh. Wait, what do you mean?
隠し通せているつもりか。そなたは人の領地まではるばるやってきて、わらわの逆の目に張る不届き者よ。わらわのゲームを傍観するつもりでいて、わらわの敗北に熱く張っておるのだろうが、図星であろう。
だったら
実に面白い。あのラムダデルタ教を退けた最強の魔女ベルンカステル教と戦える機会を賜れるとは本当に愉快よ。
Lambda Delta. Who is that?
ええ、私も愉快よ。そこまで自信満々のあなたがボロボロに負けるところが見たくてはるばるやってきたんだもの。
なんと素直なお人なのか。それにしてもわらわと大ベルンカステル教との対決をただの一人の感染者もなくというのはいくらなんでももったいないという
呼んだのね、あの子。
That's fucking. Oh my god, this bitch. I've been seeing this bitch all. Yo, isn't this Tamayo? This looks exactly like a child version of Tamayo. Is it like Tamayo? Am I not fucking wrong? Lambda Delta. Okay, so Bern defeated whoever this bitch is. I don't know. Okay, maybe I should. I mean, if she is, what is?
見つけたわよ。ようやく見つけたわ。ベルンカステル。
ごきげんよう、ラムダ。あなたも暇ね。退屈を愛さない同士、再び巡り合うのは運命かしら。
バカな子ね。私に勝てたのはちょっとした運と相性の問題だとどうして気づかなかったのかしら。それで天狗になってよりにもよってベアトリーチェに喧嘩を売るとは身の程知らずもいいとこね。ベアトリーチェは強いわよ。私より残酷だしね。ほんのちょびっと。あとそれと人のことを勝手にラムだって略さないで。
ベアトもバカね。この子はあんたのゲームであってもしっちゃかめっちゃかにするわよ。
ラムダデルタ教には決してギャラリーとしてだけお呼びしたのではない。そなたがわらわと逆の目に張っているとお伝えしたら、今日はそなたの逆の目に張ると仰せになられる。
あんたまだ根に持ってるのね。
Is this their first time ever appearing? Did they appear in Higurashi? like in the visual novel, because I never saw the visual, I only saw the anime. They're talking. Wait, what is going on?
私は宇宙最強の魔女なんだから。でもあんたに負けちゃったから最強じゃないの。だからあんたと敵対する相手は誰であっても私を味方するんだから。
Dude, I can't be wrong. I can't. She looks exactly like a little Tamayo. And
というわけだ。大ベルンカステル教が相手ならば、この程度ではハンデにもならぬだろうが、余興にはふさわしかろう。
好きになさい。バレてる以上、私も本格的にやらせてもらうわ。
それがよかろう。もとよりわらわの辞書に手加減の文字はないのでな。ラムダデルタ教、この度の貴重な縁を楽しもうではないか。
ええ、こちらこそよろしくよ、ベアトリーチェ教。こいつには私も散々に栄養飲まされてるの。私たち2人で叩き潰して2倍でお返ししなきゃ腹の虫が収まんないのよ。
こちらこそよろしくよ、ラムダ、そしてベアト。どういう勝敗になろうとも、これは私たちにとってとても有意義な戦いになるわね。
I'm just now thinking about the voice. Is it that the voice Rika had?
そうね、もちろん負ける気はないけど、私たちには勝敗以上に意義がある。
何しろわらわたちは退屈を愛さない。
The three witches cackled and guffawed. All of them giggling, laughing and
そ
shit.
の通りよ。感謝するわ、ベアト。やっと退屈から逃れられそうだわ。せいぜい私を楽しませます。ラムダデルタと2人がかりで。
そうさせてもらうぞ。
そうと決まればベアト、早速作戦会議をするわよ。その子の弱点は知り尽くしてる。それを全て伝授してあげるわ。
にもかかわらずラムダデルタ教はお破れになられた。
もう教えてあげない、教えてあげない。
退屈しない御人であるな、ラムダデルタ教は。
でしょ。面倒よろしくね。あれで寂しがり屋なのよ。
なるほど、今流行りのなんとかというやつか。さすがはラムダデルタ教、最先端でおられる。
もう行きなさいよ。あの子、あなたが追っかけてくるの待ってるわよ。
それでは失礼しよう。また次のゲームにて。
ごめんなさいね。厄介なのが来たけど気にしないで。それよりひどいことになったわね。
She's looking right at me.
私もラムダとのゲームでだいぶ悲惨な末路というのを経験してきたつもりでいるけど、今回のは群を抜いてひどいわ。あなたが膝を抱いて心を閉ざしてしまう気持ちもわからなくない。こんな末路あと何度もやられたら100年を待たずに心が殺されてしまうわ。
Within 100
ベアトに
years.
カンパされてしまったから白状する。今のあなたはかつてラムダの世界に囚われていた頃の私にそっくりなの。過
Wait.
酷な運命の迷路に閉じ込められ魔女にいいようにいたぶられている。私はそこから生まれた魔女。 だからあなたの姉に当たるのかもしれない。だからあなたに力を貸そうと決めたの。しかし私の運命に比べてもあなたのそれはあまりにも無言。同情どころか涙までもらってしまいそうなあまりに悲惨な運命よ。でもどうかくじけないで。
Lamp Delta's realm. She was
ベアトになんか決して屈しないで。確かにあの子のゲームはあまりに卑劣。ゲーム版を少しだけ見させてもらったけど、あまりに卑劣かつ狡猾な仕掛けで、その舞台仕掛けのいやらしさは多分ラムダデルタのゲーム版のそれをはるかに上回るわ。しかも恐ろしいことに、あの子は駒を指すとき常に最善手を指しているわけではない。ここがラムダとは大きく異なる点。ラムダは勝つために常に最善手で圧倒的な数の駒を指してくる。しかしベアトはたまにわざと手を抜いて駒を指してくるわ。困ったことに相手の指し手から手の内を探ろうとしている私たちにとってこれは非常に手強い情報のノイズ。厄介な撹乱になりうるわ。しかしチェスに例えるなら無駄な一手は相手にノイズを与えるかもしれないけれど、貴重な一手を損していることに違いはない。つまり付け入る余地はゼロじゃないってこと。あなたには信じられないだろうけども、今回のゲームもそう。あれだけ圧倒的な展開に見えて実は隙がある。つけ込ませたいかのように隙がある。それが罠なのかこちらを試しているのかわからないけど、とにかく屈服しないで、思考を止めないで、あらゆる可能性を否定しないで。あなたが戦う意志を持ち続ける限りベアトに勝ちはない。魔女の戦いは守りが肝心よ。勝とうとするより負けないようにしなさい。認めたら負けなら断じて認めてはダメ。あなたに魔女を認めさせること、これがベアトリーチェの勝利条件の一つであることはもはや疑いようもないのだから。私もあなたの味方であると公言した以上、できる限りの力になれるよう努力するわ。あなたも努力なさい。もしまだ膝を抱いているなら早く立ち直って。こういう時なんて言ったらしい？
No. I swear if she says it. Oh my god, I'm a little fucking scared to press it. If she's gonna say what I think she's gonna say.
ファイト
Fight on?
みぱー
Oh my god. Oh my... That's really Rika?
恥ずかしいわね。
Dude, I have to know everything about her now.
私がここまでしてあげたんだから早く立ち直りなさいよね。
Is this actually Rika herself? Rika, don't go.
いたいた。ベルンはいじけてどっか行っちゃったかしら。
I don't care about you at all. I couldn't care
本当に
less.
ざまあないったらありゃしない。それにしても相変わらずベルンが選ぶ駒はしょぼいわね。チェスだってそうでしょ。駒が全部ポーンだったら勝ち目ゼロでしょ。駒が全部ルークやビショップだったら絶対負けやしないわ。まあ前回は私がついつい哀れになって好きな場所から駒を進めていいわよって言ったら、ベルンのやつお情けの空気も読めずに手持ちのポーンを全部入場させた状態から始めて、何よあれ、あんなの負けでもなんでもないんだから。思い出しただけでもムカムカするわ。 そんなわけでこの私はベルンがギャフンとする顔を見ないと腹の虫が収まらないわけ。そんなわけなんでベルンの駒のあんたがそんなざまなんで私は最高にいい気分なわけ。しかもあの子はあれでいて本当に負けず嫌いだからきっと今頃悔しくって歯ぎしりをして涙をポロポロ流してるわよ。本当にざまないわよ。
Don't you dare talk shit about her, you little bitch.
ほら、あんたも一緒に笑いなさいよ。
No, I'm not laughing with you. No, no, fuck you.
ちょっと、あんたまだ膝を抱いてるの？ベアトにちょっと本気出されたくらいでもうそのざまなの？情けないったらありゃしない。あんまり情けないからちょっとだけ力を貸してあげるわ。この宇宙最強で絶対の魔女である大ラムダデルタ
Which
卿
I'm
が
certain.
あんたの絶望的な勝率をほんのちょっぴりだけ絶対に近づけてやるわ。感謝なさい。ベアトリーチェはね、確かに残酷で強力な魔女かもしれないけれど、なぜか甘いからよ。あの子はあと数手でチェックメイトできる局面を作りつつわざと詰めない。くだらない駒を取ったり余計な駒を置いてより一方的な盤面にしてみたり、早い話が勝ちが見えると遊び出す悪い癖があるってわけ。あんたやベルンにとって辛い様々な攻め手のほぼ全てが私から見ればやりすぎの無駄もいいところ、つまりそれこそ好きでありチャンスでもあるってわけね。恐れるに値する相手じゃないでしょ。手段と目的を時に履き違える。そして悪い遊びが過ぎる。その結果自ら弱点を作り晒してさえいる。私のような最強の魔女から見ればなんでこんな余裕ぶったことをするのか理解できない。自ら勝率を下げてるなんてね。でもまあそのせいでベルンみたいな相手を読んでかわすタイプの魔女には非常に相性が悪いってわけよ。読みが効かないから。ベルンにとっては私みたいな素直で正直なタイプは読みやすくてやりやすいんでしょうね。ムカつくことに。まあでも私みたいな超火力タイプはベアトみたいな軽くて広い弾幕タイプなんか真正面から打ち破れちゃうわけだから、相性のじゃんけんみたいなものかしら。私がパーならベアトがグー、ベルンはチョキってとこね。まあどうでもいいことかしら。確かに私のパーはベルンのチョキに負けるけど、パーよりはるかにすごい超パーだったらチョキにだって勝てるでしょ。つまりこのラムダデルタ卿は超パーってわけ。少しは血色が戻ってきたみたいね。ベアトのやつローザとかいう駒をいじめて遊んでるわ。一見すると本当に趣味の悪いやつだと思うでしょ。違うのよ。あんたが立ち直って戻ってくるのを期待してわざと憎まれるようなことをしてあんたの義憤を引き出そうという手ね。ああやだやだそういう子って。じゃあ私は戻るわね。あ、私があんたにちょびっとだけ力を貸したのは内緒よ。別にあんたを助けたくて力を貸したわけじゃないんだからね。この宇宙最強の魔女の私はベルンに負けて最強の座を奪われちゃったの。それで私はベルンからその座を取り戻さなくちゃならないわけだけど、もしここでベルンがベアトに負けちゃったら最強の座が今度はベアトに移っちゃうじゃない。まあ別に私はベアトから奪い返す方が楽だからいいわけだけど、それベルンは私が打ち負かす。そして最強の座も私が取り返すの。別にあんたに力を貸すわけじゃないんだからね。ベルンを泣かせたら許さないんだから。
Me either. I won't. Dude, holy fuck, so much, so much. The amount of shit that just... I hope I'm still recording. A new episode, okay. Okay, number 1, the background changed. Where the fuck is this? Number 2. Oh my god. Holy shit, guys. So, there's a lot of talk about Bern and Lamb Delta. They had a game before. Now then, Bern, she is Rika, isn't she? But how did she get here? And what is this talk about this game that they were playing? Higurashi? Again, I was anime only. Oh, fuck. Maybe I fucked up that being my only exposure to the series. Maybe I should have played the visual novel of that before UMINEKO, because now I'm just confused and I have so many fucking questions. I was gonna play Higurashi after this, but what the fuck? There's so much shit. So Bern and Lamb Delta, they fought. Bern won whatever game. She has some connection to Rika. She is Rika. I don't know. Like, again, that comment in episode 1, I talk about that one guy saying Bern is a data bank, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. But maybe she is. I mean, she just said Nipa and fight on. And then they're talking to my boy Battler. She said that she feels bad for Battler because his fate is worse than hers. What the fuck is gonna happen in the future? Dude, we're starting next episode. Starting episode 3, chapter 1. I am officially halfway done. No, wait. No, I already am halfway done because there's only 4 episodes. Holy shit. You know what? Okay, I'm just gonna have to end this. If I have something to say, I'll say it next episode because I just have so much to edit. Guys, what the fuck?